Happy New Year to everyone, and wishing you a prosperous 2026. And how you all doing? How have you been? How is the farm? How is your family? All right. So today I want to talk about the weather we are in, the dry season, and how it relates to rabbits and the things you should watch out for, because this weather right now is drying, and the animals are taking more water. And if you don't take certain precautions, you can easily lose rabbits in this season, because any form of heat stress can actually kill them right now. I remember this kind of season some years ago in Kwara State. Someone had a pregnant rabbit, just a week old pregnant rabbit inside his vehicle, and he did not remember to wind down the glass, behind. The ones in front were wind down, so breeze is coming in, but the one behind, he did not remember to wind them down for like 30 minutes. By the time it was done and then go back to the vehicle, the rabbit was already dead. So that's what used to happen in dry season. They easily dry and die, especially the male, because the scrotum responds to heat very, very fast. So you want to ensure that your cage is well ventilated and there is enough breeze blowing. And that's why it's a very good thing to make shade for your rabbits, so that when the sun is hot or when the weather is hot, the shade can prevent and preserve them and keep them. You understand? So that it will not affect them. And also make sure that there is sufficient water. And they are drinking more water now. They are drinking more volume of water now. So you have to deliberately make sure that there is always water in their cage. You understand? So that they don't go thirsty. Because if they are excessively thirsty, they can also die. You understand? Then avoid any form of heat stress. Heat stroke used to kill rabbits. Yes, it can paralyze them, it can kill them. For example, this is not the time to put rabbits inside something like polythene nylon, bako bag, and all those kind of stuff, even for carrying them. Yes, if you say you want to carry them in bako bag in this season, if you are carrying them for like a 20-minute distance or more, before you get to your destination, the rabbits are dead already. Yes, I'm talking from experience. I've had that experience over and over. So, and even if you want to use a carton right now to carry your rabbit from one place to another, you want to make sure that the carton is well ventilated. If you want to do way big, like I always do in most of my videos, it's good to use baskets, whether the local basket or the normal plastic ones. You understand? That makes room for aeration, for ventilation on every side. You must ensure that you use a well ventilated basket, so that while they are in transit, they can be breathing, fresh air can be coming to them. That is what they need most of the time when they are in transit. Rabbits don't eat when they are in transit. Even if you put leaf there or put food there, they will not eat the food. As long as the vehicle is moving, the animals will not eat. It is when they get to their destination, that is when they will start eating. You understand? So you want to ensure that you keep them in a well ventilated container, a basket, something that can allow for fresh air to come in. That way they will stay safe, you understand, till they arrive at their destination. And when you are receiving rabbits as well, when you receive them in this season, first thing first, give them water. Even before you give them any form of feed, whether grasses or the processed feed whatsoever, give them water first. That's the first thing, very, very important, you understand, so that it can help them to overcome their dehydration, and then thereafter they can be balanced. Then you can now give them feed. You understand? So then in this season, it is also good to actually give your rabbit some grasses. Yeah, it is very good to give them grasses. It is when it is raining and the grasses are very wet that it's not advisable to give your rabbits grasses daily. But during the dry season like this, there's nothing that can really come up if you give them grasses, because most of those grasses are drying up. Even those ones that are still growing, that have a little level of water content inside of them, it cannot be compared to the way they will be when it's raining. You understand? So also there used to be more complaint from people that their rabbit is not getting pregnant in this time. That is, they're actually crossing the rabbit quite alright, but the rabbit are not getting pregnant. The simple reason is because of the heat. You understand? If the heat is excessive, most likely they may not get pregnant. Yes, if the heat is excessive, most likely they will not conceive. So that is why you want to make sure that your environment, the cage environment, the house environment of your animals is such that it's not directly, prone to sunlight or direct sun ray and stuff like that. It can harm them. You understand? So keep them in a cool and a cool place, so that after crossing they will be able to retain the fetus and develop it even onto maturity when they are going to give birth to those offsprings. But if the heat is too much, or they're not well fed, or they are being stressed in this season of heat, most likely they're not going to get pregnant. I have a situation last year where somebody actually crossed 50 rabbits, and out of those 50 rabbits, it was only 20 that gave birth. The remaining 30 did not conceive at all. So those things happen more in dry season. However, if you know how to palpate, it becomes easy, because in 15 days you can know, between 12 to 15 days you can know if your rabbit has fetus growing inside of it or does not have it. You understand? It becomes very, very much easy to know. You understand? So that's what I have for you guys today. If you have any question, drop your question in the comment section. I'll be there to answer your question. And I wish you guys a prosperous 2026, and I wish that we do more awareness and orientation, education on rabbit farming together on this channel. Thank you for always watching the video. Thanks to our subscribers. I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.